The morning air was sharp, filled with the scents of ash and damp leaves. Thulu crouched by the river's edge, his fingers brushing across the surface of the water as if to calm it. Behind him, his tribe stirred in uneasy silence. The old fire had died in the night, leaving only the cold glow of embers. Hunger gnawed at them, but fear was sharper. Above, the sky trembled with wings. The Teratorns had returned. They were not like ordinary birds. Their wings stretched wider than 3 men standing arm to arm. Their shadows could swallow an entire clearing, and their talons could pierce bone as easily as soft fruit. To the children of the valley, the Teratorns were spirits of the air, vengeful, unstoppable, hungry. To Thulu, they were a test. If his people could not drive them away, the tribe would not live to see another moon. Thulu's mind flickered back to the night before. The tribe had huddled around the last fire, listening to the elders chant stories of the first hunter, the one who once stood against beasts greater than mountains. "We are born of courage," the old woman whispered. "If we forget that, the earth will forget us." Now, in the gray hush of dawn, those words pressed heavily on Thulu's chest. He stood, spear in hand, its wooden shaft worn smooth from years of use. The point, chipped from black stone, carried scars from countless battles with beasts of fur and claw. But this was different. No man in the valley had ever struck a Teratorn and lived. "Thulu," a small voice called. It was Lyra, his younger sister, barely grown yet already marked by the harshness of survival. Her eyes, wide and steady, met his. "Will you come back?" Thulu forced a smile, though his heart rattled like a drum inside him. "I will come back. But if I do not, you must keep the fire alive. Promise me." She nodded, biting her lip. The tribe gathered at the edge of the forest, where the land rose sharply into cliffs. Below, endless trees stretched toward the horizon. Above, the sky darkened as shadows wheeled in vast circles. The Teratorns were waiting, watching, testing. Thulu climbed first, his bare feet gripping stone slick with dew. The climb was long and merciless, every step echoing with the memory of those who had fallen before him. He knew others had tried. Some bones still lay at the cliff's base, bleached white by the sun. When he reached the top, the world opened. Wind screamed past him, tearing at his hair and skin. The cliff dropped into nothingness, and the valley spread below like a dream too fragile to hold. A screech split the air. One of the giants folded its wings, diving with impossible speed. Its beak glinted like bronze in the sun, its eyes fixed on him with a hunger that chilled his blood. Thulu's legs wanted to flee, but he planted his feet. He raised his spear, gripping it until the wood bit into his skin. The bird struck. He hurled the spear with all the force his body could summon. The stone point found flesh. A scream like thunder burst from the Teratorn as it wheeled wildly, blood scattering like rain into the wind. It fought for balance, wings snapping like sails in a storm. The second bird shrieked in fury and dove, faster than the first. Thulu had no spear left, only his knife of chipped obsidian. The beast's shadow drowned him, and in that instant he understood how small man was in the face of the world's monsters. Yet something inside him, older than fear, older than death, rose like fire. He leapt sideways as the bird struck, talons gouging stone where he had stood. The knife flashed, carving across the creature's leg. Not deep enough to kill, but enough to wound. The bird recoiled, screaming, then beat its wings, lifting back into the sky. Both circled above, furious, bleeding, but no longer descending. They had tasted defiance, and the air itself trembled with it. Below, the tribe shouted. Hope surged in their voices, a sound stronger than the birds' cries. For the first time, the Teratorns retreated, their wings carrying them beyond the horizon. Thulu stood trembling, chest heaving, arms streaked with blood not entirely his own. The knife slipped from his hand, clattering against stone. He looked at the rising sun, at the valley bathed in gold, and felt something shift inside him. The world was still merciless, but man was not without teeth. When he climbed down, the tribe gathered close. Children touched his arms as if to make sure he was real, as if courage could be caught like fire from a torch. Lyra ran to him, pressing her forehead against his chest. "You came back," she whispered. "I told you I would." His voice cracked, but his eyes burned with something brighter than exhaustion. The elders spoke then, their voices carrying weight. Today the tribe has seen what it means to be human. We are not the strongest, nor the fastest, but we are the ones who dare. And because we dare, we live. That night, fire roared higher than it had in many moons. Sparks leapt toward the stars, as if even the heavens wished to remember. Thulu sat among his people, silent, the spear once broken now bound with fresh wood and sinew. The Teratorns would return, he knew. The world would never stop testing them. But something had changed. The tribe had seen a man stand against the sky's monsters and survive. And in their eyes, in the way they carried themselves, Thulu saw that they too had grown taller. As flames danced, he thought of the first hunter and the stories told by the elders. Perhaps one day, children yet unborn would whisper his name by the fire, telling of the morning when man faced the shadows of wings and chose not to bow. The night wind carried the cries of distant creatures, but no wings passed over the valley. For now, the sky belonged to them. And Thulu, son of no great chief, became the first of his people to claim it.